Mike LaValle from Last Word on College Football joins us to talk Tennessee with the Tide on tap, a 34-point favorite. All right, Butch Jones, he's 3-3 this season. It's a lackluster 3-3. It could be made out to be worse than that, certainly based on the performance on the field. If you look at it, at least through my eyes, they lose this game by anywhere from 4 touchdowns to 50 points. Okay, they've got Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mizzou. They should win 2 of 3, or they could definitely win all 3. But let's say 2 out of 3, they knock out the FCS win. They go 6-6. They go to a bowl game. Either correct my math or my path there for Butch Jones. Does he keep the job?
Well, no. I think the Butch Jones era, the end of the Butch Jones era has already begun. I wrote that on lastwordoncollegefootball.com several weeks ago, the beginning of the end of the Butch Jones era. Just to correct the record a little bit, they still have Southern Miss left, so it's a G5 win, but not certain that they're going to be favorites going into the Southern Miss game. We're going to have to see how that rolls out. I think best case scenario for Butch Jones and Tennessee is 6-6 at the end of the season. I also think they'll be at the end of the season with an interim head coach. You're coming off of a couple of factors. The Georgia game was not pretty. So first of all, we'll go back and dissect each game. Georgia Tech, we lose that game had it not been for the quarterback's 2 fumbles. But you look at our sideline, every game we've played this year, except for maybe the Georgia game, you look at our sideline, the opposing team sideline, and quite honestly, there's more talent on our sideline. So we a double overtime for Georgia Tech. We win on a failed 2-point conversion. Needed 2 fumbles by the quarterback. Both times he was down the field quite a ways when he made those fumbles, by the way. So we escaped that game. You look at the Georgia game, the Florida game. Talent. I still contend that we had much more talent on the field than Florida, and we lose it on the last play of the game again. You look at Massachusetts. That was just a lackluster effort. Just not pretty at all. And then South Carolina off a bye week. I've said this a million times over the last 2 seasons. You cannot lose to South Carolina off of a bye week. So I think we got embarrassed. Georgia, worst home loss I think since 1908 at Neyland Stadium, not Neyland Stadium, but in Knoxville. I think 100 years. And then we're going to get embarrassed this week against Saturday. I think they make the change Saturday. That sends a note to the recruits that if you want to play at Tennessee, we're still here, but we're going to have a new coach. So there's nothing. These kids the recruits don't feel like they're being strung out until National Signing Day, because I think inevitably the change is going to happen at the end of the season. Because I think best case scenario we're 6-6. Maybe we win Southern Miss. We'll probably lose LSU, and then so 4 wins. So we'll have to win 2 or 3: Kentucky, Missouri, Vanderbilt. I think we win Missouri. I think we win Southern Miss. So I think we're at 5, and I think we're going to have to split either Kentucky or Vanderbilt to get to 6 wins. So I think Butch is let go after this game on Sunday. I think he's let go, and then I think John Curry has those last 5 games of the season to kind of start making the phone calls, names an interim coach, gets everything ready. Anybody who wants to play at Tennessee will take advantage of that December signing period. And so they'll be set there. And then immediately at the end of the season, he can already go ahead and name the head coach. Doesn't have to worry about a sitting head coach there, media getting out, putting pressure on him. If an interim head coach is named, the interim head coach understands that he's the interim. So there's no professional friction there with Curry making phone calls. And if it is somebody who's not employed, they can bring them in maybe even sooner than the end of the season to go ahead and solidify an already solid recruiting base. So to be honest with you, I think Tennessee is 6-6. If they're lucky, they finish 7-5. And then I don't think Butch Jones makes it to the end of the season.